Obedient family, welcome to another exciting episode of Voting LP on Obidati Family TV. I am Jamie the Joy, and with me is my wonderful co-host, Shooks.
Thank you, Joy. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
So, Shooks, today we'll be discussing on electoral offenses and penalties. In less than 24 days from now, this country, Nigeria, will be going into a general election. And it is a wise thing to know that there are electoral principles guiding every affairs, every election in the country. And it is wise, it is wise to know that, to take principles, to be aware of those principles in order not to violate it, because if violated, it will result to penalties and offenses on the day of election.
Yeah, that's true. Joe, you're very correct. You're right. We have guidelines, guiding every election, like you rightly put it, electoral principles or electoral laws. Yeah. And then you have consequences for violating these laws. And we're going to be looking at a few of them, so that the voter out there will be equipped with information so that you don't go about on that day violating any of these laws and being the victim of the penalties following these laws. So, and we have other things to talk about on the show. Of course, the show is all about educating the voter out there, the eligible voter out there, on things you need to know about this forthcoming election. I mean, it's less than 24 hours. First of all, happy new month to all of you watching. Happy
welcome
new month,
to February. Welcome to the happening month, the big month.
That's right. This is the big month. Yeah, the big month. It's the very first day of February 2023. And I think this is our month as Nigerians. This is the month where we'll get to decide our future going forward. Where do we want this country to be in the next 4 years and 8 years?
This is a month where we get to determine the future of the country and the fate of the country.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. So,
and another thing we must also take note about this electoral offenses and penalties. It is also good for you to know that electoral offenses may be committed by INEC officials, security officials, candidates, political parties and their officials, even media houses.
Yeah, the media outlets. Yeah.
The general public, they can also fall victim of these offenses.
Yeah, we have laws put in place to make sure that everybody, from the INEC officials to the politicians to the securities that will be guiding both the officials and the voters, and down to the voters, there are laws set in place to make sure that everybody is in good behavior.
This implies that no one is above the law.
No one should be above.
We must tread carefully on the day of election, not to fall victim of any of these offenses. Most especially the obedient family. We must not be victim of anything. That's true.
That's true. So we'll be looking at some of these laws and, of course, stating the consequences of that. The essence of doing that here on the show is to equip you, the eligible voter out there, to be aware of these laws, like we said, and to make sure that you don't break them, because we don't want anybody, especially the obedient out there, like Jay rightly put, to fall victim of any of these electoral laws. Because we want to have a free and fair, peaceful election, so that when we win, there won't be some quarters, trying to go to court and claim that we did this and did that.
That's the issue of Adeleke. That's what's happening.
The governor of Osun State, the current crisis that is going on there. And I think there was this case of overvoting claimed by the opposition party.
Exactly.
And there was, they manipulated, they tampered with the machine and all that. So, but I don't think that will happen in this election.
I pray so.
We're very optimistic. And that is why we want to make sure that everybody is aware of things that you could do wrong on that day.
Exactly.
And the consequences that could come with it. So that we don't fall victim. So, and of course, we'll be talking about Labour Party and his presidential candidate, His Excellency, Mr. P. Of course, we all know, we keep saying Labour Party seems to be the only eligible party in this forthcoming election.
Exactly.
The only party that seems to have the interest of Nigerians, and of course, they have the master plan. We've looked at their manifestos. We have other presenters on this show, on this very TV, talking about the manifestos of Labour Party, and I think it covers, captures everything Nigeria needs going forward, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about Joy will still take us through, like she does every morning, on Labour Party, their logo.
Sensitization of voters concerning the Labour Party and what you'll be seeing on the day of election as usual.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the most important thing.
Sure. And of course, how to vote.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, quickly, Joy, let's take a look at some of the electoral laws. I mean, the offenses that you could commit on that day and what the implications could be.
Okay.
So let's take out the first one, which is impersonation and voting when not qualified. Yeah. This is very likely to be a crime that could be committed by a lot of uninformed voters out there. A person voting or attempting to vote at an election when he or she is not qualified, including a person to vote at an election knowing that such person is not qualified. Yeah. So let's assume you're not up to 18 years. We know the law states that for you to be eligible to vote, you have to be up to 18 years. So if you're not up to 18 years and it's been established that you are not qualified, you're underage,
and you can't vote on the day of election,
you're not eligible to vote.
Exactly.
Now we know there are consequences for that. The penalty is you are likely to pay a maximum fine of 500,000 naira, or you can spend 12 months in prison.
Wow.
Or you can get the boots. You pay the 500,000 naira and you still get to spend 12 months in prison. So I don't think anybody wants to go through such experience.
Exactly.
So please make sure you are eligible to vote, that you are above the age of 18 or 18 years to make you qualified as an eligible voter. And then we'll have the next one, which I feel is the parties out there need to know this, need to be aware of this law. Bribery and conspiracy. That's what we might call vote buying.
You mean political parties?
Yes, vote buying, which I think is being synonymous with most parties that go about. I've been appealing it where you have party agents trying to canvass for voters, offering them money, trying to buy their vote. They ask if you vote for so party, we're going to give you so amount.
This is what we'll give you. This is your take home. If you do this, if you do that, during election or in the polling unit, it's not permitted. It's not allowed.
It's a crime to do such a thing. And paying money to any other person for bribery at an election, even you receiving any money or gift for voting or to refrain from voting an election, has a consequence. I'm going to read that to you. So if you are someone paying money to an eligible voter to buy his or her vote, and if you are the person receiving this money,
both of you,
to vote for a person or not to vote for a person,
both
of you are committing crime.
Exactly.
So both you giving and you receiving.
Both the receiving and the giver.
Exactly. You are
both going to go face the penalty of the law.
Of course, they're going to go in for it. And the penalty is, on conviction, you're going to pay a maximum fine of 500,000 naira. That's 500,000, and you can get 12 months imprisonment or the both combined.
Exactly.
So you can get 500,000 naira fine, or you have to spend a year in the prison. Or if the judge is very generous, he can give you the both. He can give you the both. So I think, and that still applies for the person receiving. The same penalty applies for the person receiving, both the giver and the recipient. So if you fall culpable to this offense, 500,000 or 12 years imprisonment, or if you're so lucky, you get the both.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's left for you to choose where you want to vote, or what you want to get. So now we'll have the next offense, which is a wrongful voting and false statement. Wrongful voting or false statement, and it says that illegal voting at an election or publishing any statement of the withdrawal of a candidate or about his personal character. So if you vote illegally at an election, or you publish any statement that might compromise or put the character of a candidate in question, it comes with a penalty. The penalty is a maximum of 100,000 naira or an imprisonment of 6 months. I think this is light,
No, even if you're not, try not to fall a victim of this penalty.
Of course. Try not to fall a victim. Now you have another offense, which is voting by unregistered person. Okay. If you try to vote while you've not been registered, for instance, you didn't register in this forthcoming election, you don't have a PVC, and on that day you are in the polling, or you are in any polling unit trying to vote, trying to print, to use the ballot paper,
trying to cast your vote.
Now that is a very big offense, and the offense is if you try to bring into a polling unit during an election a voter's card issued to another person, okay, this is what we might call impersonation.
Impersonation, yeah.
You don't have a PVC and you're trying to use another person's PVC to cast your votes. Do you understand? Now it has a penalty, which is a fine of 100,000 naira, or you are to be in prison. You may be in prison for 6 months. Okay. Now in this case, there is no identification. There is no declaration of you can get the vote. So it's either you get 100,000 naira, or you get 6 months imprisonment while trying to impersonate someone, trying to use another person's voter's card. Then we'll have a very interesting one here again, which is a disorderly conduct at elections.
Yeah.
Which I think is very likely people might fall. This is where you don't get to comport yourself during election.
You know, I said it before that in as much as we are eager to vote on the day of election, we don't want to take nonsense. We are all prepared that, man, on that day of election, if I hear win, they go collect. Please, we need to comport ourselves.
To be in a very orderly manner,
Yes.
And I think this is one of the biggest weapons the opposition, the losing party, normally take to court.
Exactly.
You know, they make claims that there are violence, or there wasn't a peaceful.
It wasn't a peaceful election
at some quarters, and they will take that to court. And if their case is valid, if they just find their case valid, it can lead to the annulment of results from such regions.
From such polling units.
Yes, from such polling units. That's true. So, inciting others to act in a disorderly manner. Either you are participating in these
or you are sponsoring.
Or you are sponsoring, yes.
You are both going to face the penalty of the law.
That's true. That's true. And the penalty is a maximum fine of 500,000 naira, or you might get imprisonment of 12 months. That is a year. And like I said, if you're too lucky, you can get a boot. You know. So it's for you to be aware that what we're doing here, we're kind of trying to save lives.
Exactly.
You know, people that might want to go out there and cause nuisance that very day. If you are watching and you are aware of the consequences or the penalty that might come with that, I think it might get to help you to rethink.
You're definitely going to take caution of what happened on
just in case there's someone sponsoring you to constitute nuisance on that very day of election, on 25th. Just know that there are penalties, and you might go ahead to get ready. Just think you want to do that, get your 500,000 ready, or start packing your bags to spend 12 months in prison.
Exactly.
Okay, the book. Well, don't wish that for you. All right, there are still other offenses, Joy, and there are consequences. Just we'll take a few of them when we go on this very short break and come back.
All right.
And then we'll just take the few, and then we'll go through the
sensitization.
Yeah, Labour Party, what they stand for, and its presidential candidate. Don't forget, this is still Obidati Family TV. And it's still the show Voting LP, and I'm still Chooks, and of course I have Pretty Joy still here. We've got a very short break. We'll come back, and then we'll continue from where we stopped.
Hello, this is my message to the Nigerian youths. I am glad that we have this great opportunity to discuss about the future of this country, Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to all of us, but to the youths most especially. I am super proud of what the youths have done, the realization that indeed the power lies with the youth. Indeed, successive governments and leadership have failed the youths. They've dismissed their capacity, the creativity, innovation, and this is why we are where we were. I am here to speak to you that not only am I proud of you, the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, is super proud of you. We're proud of the movement you're leading and all the sacrifices being made for a better Nigeria. I can tell you, Peter Obi means well for Nigerian youths. He will run a youth-inclusive government and purposeful leadership that will usher in a new dawn for generations to come. Job issues, unemployment, and indeed all the other hazards that we face as a younger generation, I believe will be a thing of the past, at least reduced significantly. I'm here to remind you that we are the last lap of this race, when we all need to come to the consciousness that the effort we're going to put in the next coming weeks can change our trajectory completely and positively. So I want to urge you, do what you can to keep on the fight until a better Nigeria is achieved. You need to make sure that you realize again that you're actually the one running for presidency, just using Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed as symbol. We are coming for a better Nigeria. This is time to vote for Labour Party. The logo is Papa, Mama, Pikin, or LP. On that day, come out in mass, show your energy, show your creativity, do everything you need to do positively to make sure your votes count. That means wait until the end. I am thankful to God for what the Nigerian youths are doing. God bless you all. Thank you.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. It is still Obidati Family TV right here, and the show is still Voting LP. And I'm still Ibe Chuks here in the studio with
Joy. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. So, Joy, we were looking at electoral offenses and their penalties. And before we went on break, we've stated quite a number of them. I think we'll just go ahead and take not the last one per se, but I mean the last one for the show before we go into voter sensitization. And I think we'll have the next one, which is
the next one states that threatening a person with violence or injury to compel that person to vote or refrain from voting, it's an offense of the law. It's a crime, an offense of the law. And the penalty attached to it is a fine of 1 million naira or 3 years imprisonment. Wow.
That is strong.
Exactly.
I think that shows how strong a crime.
Yes.
You know, the INEC finds such a behavior when you're threatening someone that they shouldn't vote. To not go out and exercise their franchise, you know. So it's a big crime if you're trying to use force or you're trying to compel someone or restrain them from voting. So you said the penalty is ₦1 million fine.
Yeah.
Or
it's 2 years imprisonment. And another one state that unlawful possession of weapon at the polling unit or voting center. On the day of election, you are not allowed, not even razor blade.
That's a big crime.
As tiny as Lindo.
Don't take it.
Don't take it there. On the day of election, the penalty attached to it is a maximum of 2 million naira or of 2 years imprisonment, or you take both.
If I'm the one that made that law, I think I would have placed the penalty, the price penalty at 10 million, and then 5 years imprisonment. Why would you go to a polling unit with a weapon? Of course, they are there to cause
problems. We are there to do something.
To cause issues.
Don't.
So it's a very strong crime. All right, I think that will be all on the electoral offenses and the penalties. I believe you out there watching, maybe this is your first time being aware of some of these laws, and the reason why we are stating it or we are reading it out for you to know is to make sure that you don't fall victim to any of them. We don't want you losing your hard-earned money over some things that should be avoidable.
Exactly.
You know, just go out there on the day of the election, exercise your franchise, your right to vote. Yeah. Your right to vote, and I mean, you go home.
Do it in an orderly manner.
Orderly manner, yes, that's true. So let's quickly go through the voters' education,
sensitization of voters. Okay, like we do say that on the day of election, you won't see the face of Peter Obi on your ballot paper.
That's true.
You will not see the face of his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, on your ballot paper. What you see the day of election is the logo party, the logo of the party. That's what you see on your ballot paper, written beside it, LP. And the logo of the party consists of 2 unique colors, the green and red color, with the family unit of father, mother, and child inside of it. That's the logo of the party. That's what you see on the day of election. And another thing you need to know is how to cast your vote on the day of election. It's a good thing that our principal, the person of Peter Obi, he did a video illustrating how to cast our vote on the day of election. He said that we should use our index finger, not the big thumb anymore, but the index finger. That's because we don't know, the boss looks big here, but we don't know the size of the boss. We don't know how it will come this era of the election. So you are advised to use your index finger. And when you are printing, do not allow the ink to wrap around your finger. Take little of the ink and print it within the boss. Within the boss. Within the boss. Do not allow it to exceed the boss. Do not allow it to exceed the boss. You print it within the boss. And you're advised to print this way and not this way. Horizontally, not vertically. You're advised to print horizontally, not vertically. In order for your printing not to exceed the boss, you are advised to print horizontally, not vertically. And another thing we must take note is the way and manner we fold our ballot paper on the day of election. Do not fold it like this. Do not fold it like this. After printing on your ballot paper, do not fold it like this. In order to avoid duplicate votes, in order to spread your votes, in order for it not to appear on another party, you are advised to fold it like this, vertically, not horizontally. You fold it like this and not like this. You print like this, horizontally, not vertically, on the day of election.
All right, that's a good job, Joy. Thank you so much for enlightening us,
Thank you.
Telling us how to vote, because the truth is that most of us don't know.
Yeah.
Especially the elderly ones, and of course the first-time voters,
Exactly.
people you might regard as the Gen Zs.
Yeah.
They might think they know, because one thing is to think that you know, then the practical now.
Another thing is
another
to perform the practical.
Yeah, because you get into the polling booth that day and they will get the ballot paper and you're all confused.
What's this?
So
Where is Labour Party?
Where is Labour Party? So there's need to get that information now. Get yourself accustomed with the party that you should vote.
Yeah.
Which of course we all know in this case is the Labour Party.
Exactly.
And you've pointed out how to identify Labour Party. Their logo, which will have within it a wheel that has the Mama, Papa, and Peking inside, and then you have their two unique colors, which is red and green, having a very unique symbolism. Of course, we said the red means transformation, and green stands for agriculture. And I think this party, even their logo, preaches a very deep message of what they're trying to do with our country, Nigeria. They're bringing work industry from production, from consumption to production, and they are coming with the human development, which is well encapsulated in the party logo. So I think, like we always do, we encourage you to vote your conscience. Don't vote your how would I put it? Your belief.
Ethnicity. Don't vote tribe.
Yes.
Don't vote religion. Vote your conscience.
Vote
wisely on the day of election. Do
That's
not
true.
say my father is supporting this, or my mother is supporting this, or it's because of this person that I'm here today.
Yeah.
That person will not be there forever.
True.
Vote wisely.
True.
Vote your conscience. Do not vote because of family. Do not vote because of what family will say. Do not vote because of what father will say or what my godfather will do to me. You are advised to vote wisely. Vote your conscience on the day of election. And I think if you are voting wisely, that definitely means you're voting Peter Obi, because that's the only wise option we have as of now.
Yeah, you put the whole options on the table. We'll have three front runners of three different political parties. When you put them on the table, I think it's very easy. It's very, very easy to pick a side.
Yes.
It's very easy. I think this election made it very easy to decide.
Exactly.
Unlike when you have other elections where you have all the candidates with very good kind of good level of
and you find it very
integrity and credibility. Yes.
But in the case of this election we are having, it is crystal clear. Then the only credible person we have, the competent person we have, is Peter Obi, and it is clear. Even the blind can see, and the deaf can hear everything that is happening.
Yeah, it is very clear. The picture is very bold. You don't need to look too deep to actually see it. I mean, you look at where we are coming from to where we're supposed to be and where we could be, and you look at who has that fortress, that prowess to actually take us there, and then you put these candidates on the table and check, okay, what are they saying? What are they saying? What are they bringing to the table?
What are they bringing to the table?
I am very pleased.
What is a manifesto saying?
Yeah, true.
What are they representing? Can they say something tangible?
Sure.
You get it? That's one of the things you should look after. Don't just go there because you want to vote for tribe. Don't go there because you want to vote for religion. Go on, even if that candidate you want to vote for, it's from your side, your tribe. Look it, check it, go and verify. Should I? Is it worth it? Is it worth my vote? Come on, look at Nigeria. Definitely, the present administration of Nigeria is nothing to write about. We are collapsing day by day. Do not go vote for tribe. Do not go vote for religion. You vote for someone that is reliable. And the only person that is reliable is Peter Obi. I keep saying this, and if you miss Peter Obi, you have missed it. If we miss it, if we miss him, we have missed it. And it will take us time to recover. Already, we all know that Nigeria is in coma. Nigeria is sick. And the only person that can survive us is Peter Obi. The only person that can take us out from coma is Peter Obi. Then what are you waiting for?
Why wouldn't you vote Labour Party in this forthcoming election? So I think it's been very easy so far getting to talk about Labour Party and what they can or what they are bringing to the table, because I mean, like I said, everything is clear. Exactly. And of course, don't forget, you can still be a part of the show. If you want to come here and be a part of what we are doing, you're very open, you're very free to do that.
Exactly.
Reach out to us. You can contact us through our WhatsApp number or through any of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and even on YouTube. Just drop a comment or send us a DM, and of course, we'll reach out to you and arrange a meeting or how to bring you down here or how you can join us through Zoom. And of course, we'll plead with you to go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like our Facebook page, and share the video you're watching so that others will get to see and also get to be equipped with the right information as it regards the forthcoming election. So we're going to go on a very short break again, Joy, and then we'll come back. I think we'll wrap it up. You know, we'll still talk a 2 or 3 about Labour Party and of course his presidential candidate and the hope
for a new Nigeria.
We'll be right back shortly.
To be Labour Party, Labour Party, to be Labour Party, to be Labour Party, LP, can you get a vote? To be Labour Party, Labour Party, LP, can you get a vote? To be Labour Party, Labour Party, never say, Mama, Papa, no want to be Labour Party, Mama, Papa, no want, never say, Mama, Papa, no want to be Labour Party, Mama, Papa, no want to be Labour Party.
Alright guys, welcome back to the show. It's still Voting LP. The show is still Voting LP, of course, and this is still Obidati Family TV. And of course, I'm still Ibe Chicks with me in the studio.
It's Joy.
Yeah, that's right. Joy, it's been a ride.
Yeah.
We started from, you know, stating electoral offenses and the penalties. And
sensitization of voters.
Yeah.
And before we go, we're going to advise you that for those of you that have not obtained your PVC, please go get your PVC. Of course, we all know that election is less than 24 days. 24 days from now, this country will be going into a general election. And this is the kind of election that will determine the fate and the future of the country. Please go get your PVC. Your PVC is your authority. Your PVC is your power. Your PVC is your strength. Your PVC is a new Nigeria. This possible new Nigeria that we are looking for, we are striving for. Your PVC is a new Nigeria. Go get your power. Go get your PVC. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, that's true. So please get your PVC, like Joy said. If you have, I think there's still time for that. There's still, I think INEC is still giving out PVCs. Just go to your polling unit or to your ward rather, or maybe to INEC offices. I don't know if the PVCs are still in the ward, still at the ward level.
I'm sure.
But just go find out. If it's not there, go to INEC offices, your office in your area, and
go get the
demand
PVC.
for your PVC. Is right. All right, it's been a ride, and thank you so much for being part of the show. We look forward to you joining us again tomorrow, same time. I and Joe will still be here, you know, still tripping, still looking fabulous.
Thank you.
And of course, we'll have another thing to discuss, talk about on the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Happy New Month. Have a fantastic week, and of course, a great month this month.
Exactly.
Bye.